And so we have a very in-depth strategy covering both the NV valve and the frame of the NV valve and the NV delivery system. And so this is just the first step in executing that strategy. And you'll see us get additional patents both in the US and worldwide over time as we build that fence, that protective fence around our technology, which will prohibit others from copying it.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another Virtual Investor What This Means segment. My name is Janine Thomas. I am CEO of JTCIR, and I will be the moderator. Today, we are featuring enVVeno Medical, and I am very pleased to be joined by Rob Berman. He is CEO of the company. Welcome, Rob.
Hey, Janine, nice to be with you again.
Oh, always happy to have you. And before we get started, just want to remind our audience that enVVeno is publicly listed on NASDAQ and trades under the ticker NVNO. And during today's discussion, the company will be making forward-looking statements. And I encourage everyone to view the company's latest SEC filings on their website at enVVeno.com for the latest information. So we're going to dive right in here, Rob. And for our audience, I'll give you a little bit of background. So the company recently announced a new patent related to the enVi system, as enVi has the potential to be a landmark technology capable of transforming the treatment of severe deep venous insufficiency in a multi-billion-dollar market with millions of patients who have very few effective treatment options today. What exactly does this patent protect, and why is expanding your intellectual property portfolio such an important milestone for both the company and investors?
Janine, when you're leading a new category of device, there's a lot of work and, of course, a lot of risk. And you want to make sure that all of that work ends up being worth it and that you have an opportunity to experience the upside. And so you want to create what investors call a competitive moat. And so that you can operate in the market and not have somebody else come in on your coattails and benefit from all the work that you did and take market share away from you. And one of the elements of a competitive moat is patent protection. And so this is our first US patent that's issued on the enVi system. It's a broad patent, and it is among the many factors that will keep us as the industry leader and for a long time, probably the sole provider of an effective treatment option for deep venous insufficiency.
It's pretty powerful, Rob. I'm glad we're having this conversation because I don't think this is realized by, many of the stakeholders. So being able to describe it is so important. Thank you for that. So how does continuing to expand your patent portfolio strengthen the company's long-term competitive position as you advance the MB system towards commercialization?
Again, the more patents that you have and the broader that they are, the larger that competitive moat becomes. And so you're basically stopping people from copying you. And like I said, from taking advantage of all the work you did and shortcutting and getting to the market without doing that work. And so most investors look at patents as a checkbox. It's actually more important to actually look at the substance of the patent and look at the claims and look at the specification. And so this is the first of many patents as part of our strategy to build a spider web, if you will, protecting the enVi system both in the US and worldwide.
Excellent. So I know there's a lot of overlap in some of the questions, but I think about the opportunity, the unmet need, the multi-billion-dollar market that you have the ability to address. So I'm going to kind of answer. You've addressed this question already in a little bit, but I want to get more specific here. So what should investors take away from this patent announcement? How does it fit into the broader strategy of building long-term value around the NB platform?
You need to make sure when you're putting significant investment in developing a device that you're going to be able to get the return. And one of the ways of assuring that you're going to get the return is patent protection. And so we have a very in-depth strategy covering both the NV valve and the frame of the NV valve and the NV delivery system. And so this is just the first step in executing that strategy. And you'll see us get additional patents both in the US and worldwide over time as we build that fence, that protective fence around our technology, which will prohibit others from copying it.
Excellent. So you talked about the first step with respect to the intellectual property for the NV system. I know this is going to be an action-packed year for the NV system as you look to start that pivotal study. So what are the next milestones for the NV system that investors can be on the lookout for in the near term?
Well, as you know, Janine, we recently got FDA approval for our TAVI pivotal trial. And so we're in the process now of selecting sites and doing the necessary paperwork and approvals to get those sites up and running. And we expect to have first patient in the TAVI study in Q4 of this year. And so um, as some of you may know, this is actually a two-stage study. The first stage consisting of 10 patients. And so what we want to do is get those 10 patients enrolled as quickly as possible and then put out some data on those 10 patients to confirm to the market that enVI is working exactly in the manner that we expect it to work.
Excellent. Rob, thank you so much. And with that, this does conclude our virtual investor What This Means segment featuring enVVeno Medical. Rob, thank you again for joining us today. And if you like what you saw today, I encourage you to visit enVVeno.com for more information on the company and to sign up to follow the company to receive their alerts as well as follow their social channels. As a reminder, enVVeno Medical trades on NASDAQ under the ticker NVNO. Thanks again, Rob, and I wish everyone a great rest of your day.